Hi guys, welcome back to Hitpointed. I'm Surefooted. Today we continue with Mountain Blade, but the beta patch 1.4.2 just came out. So practically the 1.4.1 is now on the live version, on the public version, and 1.4.2 is now the beta patch. So I went through this. It's small, it's a little bit on the small side, content-wise, comparatively. Hey King, welcome back. We're gonna quickly go through it and then just go back into the game, and hopefully our playthrough is save game compatible with 1.4.2. So, in single player, they fixed a few crashes. Save and load. Save file compression was optimized by around 80%. I have no idea what that means. Hello, Puni. Welcome back. Increase the number of autosave files to 3. Maybe it was needed. Localization fixes, punctuation fixes, and corrections for some text. Turkish translation update. Okay. Fixed some snow texture issues in Kuzaid villages. Good. And various model and material and texture improvements for campaign and map icons. Oh, that should be nice to see. Now, practically from here down are the main things that were changed. And we're also going to see them in-game. Clan screen. Moved clan member role assignments from Parties tab to Members tab. Now players can assign a role to clan members specific to parties that they're in. Aha, so this answers a previous question. Somebody stated that once you assign a companion to a surgeon role, he said that it would affect all parties. No, this confirms it only affects your party, and that there needs to be another member in the specific party for them to provide those bonuses there. Players can now rename their family members in the clan members tab. Okay, just family members, got it. Fief tab now shows towns and castles in different lists and contains bound settlements, notables, bound settlements and notables in the settlements. Cool. The party tab now lists the amount of each troop type that a party currently has. Interesting. Good. Practically that way you'll know who to call in. Who you gonna call? The other tab now shows more detailed information about workshops owned. Awesome. Yes, more information, more control upon the workshops. That's great. Not seeing any nerfs to... Haven't seen any nerfs to tanneries, so I think tanneries will still remain simply the best. Shift and control modifiers now work with both left click and right side keys in the inventory and party screen. Okay. Added missing one-handed and two-handed perk icons, so practically they added how they look. Fixed kingdom decision pop-up behavior for rulers. Fixed a bug that caused the likelihood percentage value next to the propose button to show incorrect values. Okay. Fixed localization issue in the custom battle screen. I haven't really... Well, I only play in English. Yes, new patch circles. Welcome back. Fixed execution pop-up visual error. And fixed the UI problem where wanderers in enemy towns are shown as red. Okay. Now, another interesting part. Polearms. They reworked polearms, and since our character is specializing in polearms, we're going to be able to select and see those perfectly. Fixed charm, leadership, trade, and medicine perk bugs. Good. Implemented second effect on two-handed perks, so we'll have to read through those as well. And they also implemented secondary effects to polearm perks. Cool. Fixed a false effect of smithing perks. Doesn't mention what, sadly. And fixed an issue with the one-handed and two-handed perks. So practically, fixes to one-handed and two-handed, added extra effects to two-handed, reworked and added skill to polearms, and fixed charm, leadership, trade, and medicine stuff. So that's cool. Clan and party. Minor faction leaders were gaining too much money, and their expenses were very low, and this was causing gold inflation. This was fixed. Okay. Never noticed a problem with that, but who knows? Maybe at one point it causes issues. Fixed an issue with the behavior of safe passage deals when the player is in a besieged settlement. And settlement actions in town and villages, castles, and hideouts. Relation loss that occurs when a village is raided is no longer spammable and is now proportional to the amount of damage caused at a village. Players will still lose a fixed but reduced relation amount with village notables and the owning clan leaders when they initiate a war by raiding the village during peacetime. So practically it's going to hurt you, it's going to kick you in the groin if you start a war in a dishonorable way. Practically the same like we did in the previous game. A lot of quest fixes that I went through them that are not really that important. Fixes and minor tweaks here and there. Improvement for player look, algorithm, and conversation. Added a conversation option with non-hostile vassals which are in an army without joining the faction that they are in. Okay. Ensure that characters whom the player meet in a quest recognize the player later. Expands comments on game actions. And townspeople and villages should now comment on available issues and quests. Interesting. Practically would give you an incentive to walk through the city and talk with the civilians. New noble weapons have been made and distributed among the fellow lords of Coloradia. So I think either they implemented new weapons or simply buffed up the lords' offensive powers. Sadly, in tournament they're still going to be the same, because in tournaments everybody uses standardized tournament weapons. You know, rubber, non-lethal weapons. Definitely. Caravan Guard, Veteran Caravan Guard, and Armed Traders have better stats now, which will make attacking caravans a little bit harder. We're going to have to check out those better stats, just to see if it's worth grabbing them for our own party. We might find a few inside taverns. Fix an issue with agent orientation in hideout boss fights. Okay. I don't know what skins XML is now moddable. I don't know what that means. So most likely you can now mod the way characters look. Maybe that's what it's up. Fix a bug where the player could take dead lords as prisoners. This should also fix dead heroes from spawning with new parties. And the developer console can be enabled now by pressing Alt and the proximation key. Can't take the lords as prisoners anymore. Yeah, I have no idea that was a thing, Mr. Det. Okay, some modifications in multiplayer. I'm not really interested in multiplayer, but practically they fixed the siege tower ramp. Some crash issues. Visual glitch. Added defender and attacker icons to class loadout screen in siege mode. Fixed inconsistent placement of scoreboard sides while the player is spectating. And now for both single player and multiplayer receive major performance improvements, better animations and fixes, separated the refresh rate option from the resolution and added aspect ratio values next to the resolution, fixed some text calculation errors, so just some corrections in the settings. And then shield physics, bodies on back are correct. Crouching is prevented during an attack in order to prevent unwanted stance switches. And single player and multiplayer now use different version numbers. Fixed issues about username with non-ASCII characters. So practically there were problems with how players were naming their characters. Hey Stuff Lord, welcome back to DN, my man. Was reading through the patch. Okay, once we get in game, what I'd like to check would be the Caravan Guard, Veteran Caravan Guard, and Armed Trader stats. And of course the character development system and the UI clan, the new UI for the clan. Let's go in. I actually haven't booted up the game since it applied the new patch, so hopefully the game's gonna go fine and peachy. Very minor problems. It seems it is stable now. So current just summary of how I feel about this patch. It's quite light on the content. They're reworking all of the perks. They're continuing to rework all of the perks. They've redone Polearms and of course added improvements and fixes to the others. I don't know, Circles. We'll find out if this breaks save games, but it didn't mention anything about compatibility issues, so in theory we should be able to continue. We should. Also, it should reset our polearm perks. It should reset polearm perks on all characters, just so we can re-add them. And that's it. we're going to go look into it, and then we're going to end the patch notes portion of this video and continue with our playthrough. Hey, Con Prince, welcome back. We looking at some .26 skills today? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And it's a good thing since our character is actually specialized in polearms, so we're going to be able to have a hands-on experience look with what we get and what's going on. We're also going to quickly look over the two-handed skills as well, since they received secondary effects. Exactly like one-handers, now two-handers receive secondary effects. So let's go quickly. Let me just quickly check video. Maybe in performance section. They said that they changed something, but it's fine. I don't think it's it affects me in any way. Let's just go back into the game. I'll load up our save file. Press yes, because we are loading an old save over a new patch. And hopefully this save will be safely converted to a 1.4.2 save. Just arrange this a bit. There we go. There. Let's go in. Music changed. We should be able to see the map soon. Also, quickly, I'll need to remind myself what I've been doing. Hey, Oberst, welcome back to the end, dude. Okay, we were going to the southeast, most likely to heal up. Yeah, because I am dead. Well, I'm dead. I don't really have HP. Hey, Rollum. Minor patch, I would say. Minor patch, extra stuff on polearms, different clan UI, and buffed up caravans. Practically, caravan units have received a buff. Okay, 19 out of the 78 raiders have leveled up. They're going to need a little bit more loving. But no, let's go to the things we're interested in. Yeah, they gave me back my polearm perks. Let's go through the two-handed first, and then we're going to go through the polearms. So, strong grip. 200 weapon you wield has 10% better handling. Infantry troops in the formation you're leading have their two-handed skills increased by 30. Okay. By 30. So, since we have 23 two-handed, that would be, let's say, a 1.5 two-handed weapon speed increase and a 3.8 weapon damage increase. Just from getting strong grip. Okay, sure. Woodchopper. Increases your damage against shields with two-handed weapons. Infantry troops into formation you are leading increase their damage against shields by 15%. Okay, so practically your boys simply become better at dealing with shields. I don't feel like this is needed, because the AI will most likely never form a shield wall properly. So just grabbing strong grip will be better. Let's see. On the Edge. Increases your swing speed with two-handed swords by 3%. Infantry troops in formation you're leading increase your swing speed by 2%. And Head Basher. Increases your two-handed axe and two-handed mace damage by 10%. And infantry troops in formation you're leading increase their damage in general by 2%. Good shield is always better. We were discussing about destroying shields, Mr. Det. Practically, we had to choose in the first tier between strong grip, which simply gives you a increase in damage and speed, or woodchopper, which simply gives you an increase in damage against shields, which really is not really worth it. Over here, I would just say on the Edge, faster swing speed for your soldiers sounds amazing. Just faster swing speed. I'm curious to see, well, early game, we're not going to be able to see that benefit too good, but for high-tier Falksmen or something like that, on Edge should feel good. Should feel nice. Baptized in Blood. Troops in the formation you're leading gain 5% experience for each enemy you killed. Also, all melee infantry troops in your party gain 5% more experience after battle. Interesting. Good. Just specializes you in leveling up infantrymen faster. Show of Strength increases knockdown chance by two-handed weapons by 30%, and infantry troops are 30% cheaper to recruit. Recruiting infantry was never the cost for recruiting soldiers was never a problem. I would definitely go Baptized in Blood. That will simply give you a faster upgrade for your boys. Okay, what do we got here? Beastslayer. It seems there's already a typo in the description of this one. Increases your damage against mounts with two-handed weapons by 50%. Infantry troops in the formation you are leading increase their damage against mounts by 10%. This might be good. This might be good not just for two-handed soldiers. For any polearm user, simply receives a 10% buff against horses. Sign me up. It sounds powerful. Shield Breaker. Again, it's a situation where you need to destroy shields. You don't really need to de-shield a dude. 40% more damage against shields with two-handed weapons. Infantry troops in a formation you're leading increase their damage against shields by 10%. No, not even if I would combine Wood Chopper with Shield Breaker, I would still go for Beastslayer. Currently in the game, Kuzait and Vlandia are some of the strongest factions. You do want extra damage against horses, I would say. Okay, let's see. Berserker increases your damage with two-handed weapons by 20% when your hit points are below 50%. And Garrison in governed towns have their wages reduced by 10%. Okay, I'm not exactly sure how much a garrison usually costs you on a day-to-day basis. So this might be good, this might be bad. Confidence. Increases your damage with two-handed weapons by 15% when your HP is above 90%. Military projects, barracks training fields, battlement workshops are built 30% faster. Now, as I understand, building speed is quite low in general, so confident won't be that useful. And most of the time, you will get sniped by an arrow or a rock or something, so you're going to be under 90% HP most of the time. At least, in my case, I'm most of the time under 90% HP. So most likely, Berserker for me would be the way to go. If you are a god at dodging damage, and you consistently stay over 90% health during battle, then please, by all means, get confidence. Hello, HD0. Welcome back to the end, my man. How you doing? Okay, Yado Mejutsu. Did we just jump in Japan? Okay. The fuck? Suddenly, Japanese in Bannerlord. You can deflect arrows. With two-handed weapons while changing block positions. The garrison and government settlements gain 10% more experience from battles. Okay, I mean, that's the only one that we can grab at that point, so there's no really a choice. Sure, I guess it's cool to deflect arrows. We'll see how that works. Hopefully it works, and I can test it out someday. Yes, there is a new beta out there. Quite a light upgrade. Practically fixes for charm, leadership, trade, medicine, and smithing. Some fixes there. Added secondary effects to two-handed, reworked polearms, and added secondary effects to polearms. We're currently looking through two-handed. Okay, let's see what else. Terror. Your kills with two-handed weapons have a 20% higher effect on enemy troop battle morale and increases your prisoner limit by 10, a flat 10 increase. And Hope. Your kills with two-handed weapons have a 30% higher effect on friendly troop battle morale. Your party limit is increased by 5%. I would say that Terror might be better, simply for the fact that usually if a enemy soldier breaks morale, he's gone. He's bye-bye. I don't think Hope will... I don't usually have soldiers that break, and I don't think Hope will be able to bring them back fast enough back into formation to keep them safe. If they break, they have a high risk of dying before they, regroup and come back. So I would probably just go for Terror, especially if I'm on horseback and I can just consistently kill soldiers. I developed a retard. Okay, yeah. Good for you, Spicy Nandos. Bannerlord is clearly post-apocalyptic Japan. Clearly. Hey, Nikolaf, thank you for resub and howdy.
Howdy.
Okay, thick hides. You gain 5 HP, and troops in your party have their HP increased by +5. In the grand scheme of things, that's not much. What's the other one? While on foot, increases your speed damage bonus with two-handed weapons by 20%, and infantry troops in the formation you're leading increase their damage by 2% and movement speed by 2%. Both sound very good. I don't think 5 HP, extra 5 HP, is better than 2% extra damage and 2% extra movement speed. Because 2% extra movement speed for a high-tier soldier is huge. So, I think Reckless Charge is sexier than Thick Hides. Okay, this is what I would do. I would take Reckless Charge if I have a lot of Falksmen and Shock Soldiers. If they need to get fast on the enemy's ass and they need to do as fast damage as possible, I'm clearly going for Reckless Charge. If my army is composed out of a big, chunky, fat, thick shield wall, Thick Hides is the way to go. So yeah, that's what I would do. If you focus on Shock Soldiers, Reckless Charge. If you focus on shield walling it up, Thick Hides. What do we got then? Vandal. Your attacks ignore 25% of the enemy's armor. Armor is a little bit like just wet tissue anyway. Infantry troops in the formation you're leading increase their damage against destructible objects by 20%. So that would make them better in sieges. That's an interesting upgrade. But they would only benefit in sieges with that. Blade Master. Increases your two-handed weapon damage by 10%. Infantry troops in the formation you're leading increase their attack speed by 2%. Yep, Blade Master. If I'm going Reckless Charge, I'm definitely going Blade Master. Definitely. And even Blade Master would work their attack speed. And it doesn't mention that it's for their two-handed weapons. Yeah, Blade Master is definitely better. Would definitely go with Blade Master all the way. Vandal is underpowered, I guess. Enemy armor is not a big deal. Especially for you. Indeed, HD0. A Way of the Great Axe. Every skill point after 250 grants you 0.2 speed increase and 0.5 damage increase with two-handed weapons. That is awesome. It doesn't only affect your axes, it affects maces and blades. It doesn't mention that it affects only axes. It states two-handed weapons in general, which is awesome. And it says every skill point after 250. Oh shit, really? Really? Ooh. That's slightly lame. Because it says here, I think this is receiving a nerf. Because it says every point after 250, and you get it at 250. So at the point of 250, you don't get any benefit from this perk. But anything beyond will simply make you more powerful. Although I can't see us reach 250 in a weapon department and then state, oh, I can get to 300 easily to benefit from the Way of the Great Axe. Sure, it's cool, but I just hope we can get there, to be honest. Yeah, I don't have a choice anyway. Before, you would get a clear buff from 200, so practically you would get this at 275, and then every skill point after 250 would give you the bonus. So it would be a flat 0.2. What's 25 times 0.2? That would be 5. A 5% attack speed increase and a 10% at 300. Yeah, you would gain a 10% at 300. 10% attack speed at 300. And 0.5 times 50. 25% damage increase. But at that point, you should be able to one-shot everything anyway. So, I'm not sure. Maybe... You know what I would do? I would probably bring this somewhere around here. Instead of Yadomejutsu. And just make it Way of the Great Sword, Way of the Great Axe, Way of the Great Mace. Just separate them and make you force yourself to specialize into them. And to specialize a certain type of two-handed weapon. Because that way it would give me time to play with the weapons. It would give me time to feel more powerful as I increase my skills. By the time I get Way of the Great Axe, I am most likely either one-shotting things and pretty overpowered, or I'm bored out of my mind. So, it's one of the two. I kind of don't like that over there. Would love it if it were a little bit on the lower side. But, who knows? We'll just have to wait and test out and see. Now, let's get to Polearms, which we get to play around with. Yeah, sadly they... Okay, so for those who are going to be asking, I'm just going to state this right off the bat. The icons that have a lock on it should work. They just did not decide on a art or a icon for that perk. Okay, most likely they're going to be adding those in the next patch. For example, over here, they did not add anything to Yadomejutsu. Most likely they're going to be adding it in the next patch. So, don't think these don't work. They just don't have an icon yet. It's the beta branch. Things need fixing, baby. Okay, so let's see what we got. Most likely, I'm expecting a on-foot polearm specialization and on horseback polearm specialization. Let's go through them. Pikeman. Increases your damage with polearms by 2%. Okay. No secondary effect. Just a flat 2% buff. Damage buff. Cavalry. Increases your damage with polearms while mounted by 2%. Now the question arises, do these two do the same thing? Do they literally do the same thing? Because if this increases my damage with polearms just on foot, then clearly I'm going to be grabbing cavalry if I'm on a horseback. But if this affects me, even if I'm on foot, even if I'm on mounted, I will clearly grab pikemen because cavalry only affects me while I'm on a mount. So there's no clear difference between the two. Clearly, out of how they're phrased, pikeman is the superior one. Killer X, thanks for resubbing, man. Really appreciate it. But for the sake of not risking it, if pikeman only affects you on foot, I'm gonna go with cavalry this time around. Because that's how it's meant to be, I think. That's how they're thinking it. Again, I think. Let's see. Kind of useless because the current state of the game, getting the last perk is really hard and going over them nearly impossible. I agree, man. I agree, H0. Can't wait for them to make range units even more OP when the new bow perks get into the game. Yeah, I feel like once they I think next patch they should rework the bows. And then the patch after, they're going to be adding secondary effects to bows. Most likely that's going to improve the power of archer-focused and mounted archer-focused armies even further. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I'm very curious to see what they're going to be doing with crossbow, though. Yusum Pikeman is only on foot, but it's just poorly worded. Yep, that's what I said as well. Okay, braced and keep at bay. Braced increases your change... Wait. Increases your change to dismount... Typo. My god. Increases your chance to dismount an enemy cavalry on successful hit. Not change. Increases your chance. Developers. Please. Okay, so that's for foot soldiers. Keep at bay. Bonus to pushing opponents with a successful thrust with polearms. Increases militia recruitment in government settlements by 1. It's a no-brainer. I'm going to go with keep at bay. It provides you with some crowd control against the enemy, and it provides you a passive benefit to your fiefs. Clearly, keep at bay is superior. Braced just increases your chance to dismount a dude. I mean, you're most likely going to be killing the horse. So, yeah, keep at bay. Plus, we're not on foot, so no-brainer choice. Swift Swing. Increases your swing speed with polearms by 5%. Infantry troops in the formation you are leading increase their swing speed by 2. Now the question is, do they increase their swing speed by 2 with polearms or with all weapons? Again, it's not stated. It's not clarified. Clean Thrust. Increases your thrust damage with polearms by 10%. Infantry troops in the formation you're leading have a plus 30 to their polearm skills. I'm going to go with Clean Thrust. Even though I don't need the damage, I don't need the extra thrust damage because you usually one-shot shit, especially if you couch. But that the buff for your soldiers is much more powerful. I don't know, HD0. As I said, it's not stated in the description. In theory, it should be polearms, but the way it's written, and it's clearly rushly written. I can see it clearly that they rushly written this. It should be for all weapons. If it's for all weapons, Swift Swing is better. If it's not for all weapons and only polearms, I think Clean Thrust is the way to go. I'm going to go with Clean Thrust this time around. Again, I'm trying to consider that these are written the way they're intended. You know? So that's why I'm taking the right choices. They should really write it to be more clearly. Kind of hard to decide when the text is not clear enough. Yes, HD0. That's exactly what I stated. Okay, let's see. Next will be Footwork. Increases your combat movement speed with polearms by 2% and increases your soldiers' movement speed by 2%. Amazing. Amazing perk if you have a foot soldier build. Hard Knock. Increases your chance to knock opponents down with successful swing attacks. Infantry troops into formation you are leading gain 3 HP. I'm probably going to go with Hard Knock. In theory, I should be a cavalryman or a horse archer. Since I have a ranged weapon, I should be in the horse archer division. I'm not exactly sure how the game calculates that shit. But that should just buff up all of my mounted archers. Okay, Cakes. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Angel Rex. Sadly, they did not specify which ones have been fixed. I'm gonna go Hard Knock. Even though... Well, in this case, Hard Knock because we don't really have foot soldiers. Lancer. Increases your speed damage bonus with polearms while mounted by 20%. Troops in the formation you are leading increase their damage speed bonus with polearms by 20%. So practically just makes polearms more deadly in the hands of cavalry. Steed Killer. Increases your damage against mount with polearms by 70%. Increases troops in the formation you are leading increase their damage against mounts with polearms by 30%. Very awesome. I would just switch these between them. If you already focused a foot build up there and a mounted build down here, please for fuck's sake don't switch them around. Keep the cavalry down and keep the infantry up, because clearly Lancer's supposed to be down here and Steed Killer is supposed to be up there, although both benefit that shit. Yes, Steed Killer will make not just you but everybody very effective against taking out horses. But it's important that they have polearms when they do so, and mounted archers do indeed have polearms, not just swords. No, I don't feel like Lancer is needed. Steed Killer is, I think, the way to go, because already the bonus speed for polearms is pretty high. Okay, let's go. Next, Skewer. Your Couch Lance. Oh, wow. Your Couch Lance now has a 30% chance to stay couched if it killed someone. Okay. Good. That means that you might get a chance to kill another dude that's behind the one that you've just... That's a double-edged sword, punny. No. Well, hear me out. It's a double-edged sword. Think of it this way. You couch it, and then you either expect it to remain couched. You kill somebody, and then you either expect it to remain couched and you charge another dude, or it doesn't remain couched and you charge into a dude and you risk slowing down or getting bogged down. Now, I know that the risk is kind of minor. It depends on who you're charging. And also, it's a very low chance for another soldier to be exactly at the back of the dude that you just skewered. Or who knows? Maybe it just goes puck and stabs everyone. That would be cool. Also, the question is, can you keep going for skewer? Question would be, let's say, couched, killed my first enemy. I get a 30% chance to kill another enemy. After I kill the second enemy, do I get another 30% chance to go for a third target? Or a fourth? Can I chain couch enemies? That's another question. So, I would add in parenthesis, yeah, combo skewer. I would add in parenthesis if this stacks or not. Because if you're a lucky fuck, you would just skewer an entire line of soldiers. Haven't played the game since 1.2.1, and I hopped on yesterday. Holy shit, lords are so much more OP now. Yeah, they're more powerful, cakes. If you charge on infantry, that's good-ish. If they don't have polearms. If they have polearms, they're just going to stop you in your tracks. Also heard that lords now have special lord weapons. Kind of wonder how powerful they are. Yes, they do. It would be hilarious. Yeah, it would be hilarious to just... would be OP as fuck and hilarious to just skewer through the soldiers like it's nobody's business. Okay, let's see what's the other one. Guards. When you hit enemy's head with a polearm, you deal 50% more damage. Experience of garrison cavalry in governed settlements is increased by 20%. Okay, so practically you do bonus damage to enemies' heads. This is clearly the cavalry variant. No, both are for cavalry. Actually, no. One sec. Skewered is dedicated cavalry. Pretty sure it's just dedicated cavalry. You can only couch on a horse. Guards is both for foot soldiers and for mounted? I mean, if I hit somebody's head... mounted, from a mounted perspective, I'll do bonus damage. If I'm on foot and I swing towards his head or stab towards his head, I'll deal bonus damage. Which is great. Well, I mean, practically one-shotting potential right there. 50% more damage is huge. You will most likely one-shot shit. But then the secondary effect, experience of garrison cavalry in governed settlements is increased by 20%. So, does that mean it's more directed towards cavalry? Yeah, that's weird. That one's weird. Hitting a guy in the head would be way more easy on foot than on a horse, so I guess that's the foot perk. Yeah, but the secondary effect is for mounted units. That shouldn't be a perk, that should be a game physics. Indeed, buddy, that should be game physics. If you hit somebody in the head, they should receive more damage without having to take a goddamn perk. I agree. So maybe they're going to change this in the future. Guys, is it just me or all of these feel rushed? I have a feeling that they're rushed. Okay, let's keep going. Standard Bearer. Troops in your formation take 20% less morale loss. Garrison Infantry in governed settlements have their wages reduced by 20%. Powerful skill. Morale boost all around. Falaks. Infantry in your party have better fighting skill while in tight and shield wall formation. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Infantry in your party have better fighting skills while in tight and shield wall formations. The fuck does that mean? I mean, give me some numbers, give me some calculations. Tell me, if a soldier is next to two of his friends, he gains, I don't know, 5% faster attack speed. I don't know if it's better AI. I don't know if they receive extra HP to their shields. I don't know if they receive extra speed to their polearms. I have no idea. It doesn't state. Secondary effect, troops in formation you're leading increase their damage with polearms by 3%. Maybe it's better weapon skills. I don't know, Mr. Badman. I literally don't know. It's not stated. So, until I receive clarifications, I'm going to go with Standard Bearer. Because it's also going to give me a financial passive benefit outside of combat. And plus, we all... Okay, I have to admit, if Falak only functions for polearms users, it's going to be pretty shit. But if it functions with all units that are standing in a blob, Falak might be very powerful, depending on the skills that it raises. But because it's so vague with what it improves, I can't go for it. Generous rations. Troops in your formation gained plus 5 HP. Reduces recruitment cost of infantry troops by 30%. No, I don't think there's a brace option. Bunny. You can thrust, and once the horse is close enough, you just release the thrust. Practically, you could prepare thrust, and when the horse is close enough, you just thrust forward, and practically that's the brace. But you gotta release at the right time. Alright, drills. Governed settlements gain plus 1 militia per day. All troops in party gain additional 1 XP per day. Okay, that 1 XP is nothing. That sounds very underpowered. It does, HD0, it does. Hey, Sammy Cass, welcome back to the end. I'm a little bit disappointed in the way these perks were written. Unlock brace polearm command. I guess it would be powerful. But I wouldn't want to use it if the AI can't use it. I don't know. It's kind of meh. Drills is kind of meh. I would probably gonna go for generous rations, just for extra survivability for all troops. I know, Samikaz, I know that it's still in the beta. They need to improve what Falak does. They need to state... they have a few that need to be clarified, with numbers and clearer data. But those are just some examples. Surefooted increases your defense against mount charge damage by 50%. That's useless because mount charge damage doesn't do shit. Infantry troops in the formation you're leading have their defense against mount charge damage increased by 30%. That seems weak as fuck. Surefooted seems super weak. Don't expect this game to be out of early access for another year? Yes, we don't expect that either. I don't expect this to be out of early access for another year and a half at least. Imagine if you get all of the HP increased skill perks in the skill trees, your boys are going to become tanky as fuck. True, HD0. If you manage to just get all of the HP buffs, you might get some chunky boys. You might get some super chunky boys. Okay, so that was Surefooted, which seems very underpowered. Unstoppable Force. Your crouched lance attacks deals triple damage against shields. Okay. Cavalry troops in the formation you're leading increase their speed damage bonus with polearms by 30%. Probably Unstoppable Force if you have a cavalry-focused army. But Surefooted seems underpowered. Just all around underpowered. Unless you are clearly not going for any cavalry, then yeah, most likely Surefooted is the way to go. No, really, Samikaz? I should give them a little bit. I'm gonna try to give them a link to the video, see if they want to watch it. 300% can probably break shields. I think a normal couched lance can just go through a shield, no problem, without that perk, bunny. No, Samikaz. Hopefully I can leave it on their forum or something. HD0, didn't you provide them with some feedback? Where did you provide that feedback? at. Let's go. Counterweight. Increase handling of swingable polearms you use by 50%. Cool. Practically gives you a chance of... Alright. I'll check the forums. Swingable polearms you use by 50%. That's good. That's interesting. It just makes fighting with a polearm on foot, with a swingable polearm on foot, more bearable. Infantry troops in the formation you're leading have their polearm skill increased by 20. Okay, maybe 20 to a high tier troop is a lot, but it feels slightly underpowered. I don't know, what's your opinion on this one, guys? Sharpen the tip. Thrust attacks with polearms have 5% increased damage. Weak. Infantry troops in the formation you're leading increase their thrust damage by 5%. Goodish against horses. And even to cavalry, that should be a buff. Foot soldier perk, mounted soldier perk, and that's for infantry troops, so only for a foot soldier army. This sharpened tip is most likely... Oh no, sharpened tip also provides just to infantry troops an increase to thrust damage. That's kind of lame. Yeah, I would probably still take sharpen the tip. A lot of troops have swingable polearms. If a lot of troops have swingable polearms, that counterweight might be the way to go. But again, it would have to be a soldier without a shield to have a swingable polearm. If he has a shield, sharpen the tip. Oh, you think that a lot of troops don't have swingable weapons? Well, the Vlandian Vosgier, or however you pronounce that, has a swingable polearm, I would say. So I guess it's situational. If you literally have spearmen that have swingable polearms, probably counterweight is the way to go. If you have just all-around shield the wall with polearms, with spears, sharpen the tip. Probably the way. Okay, and Way of the Spear. Every skill point after 250. And look at that, you get it at 275. So if you get Way of the Spear, you automatically gain a benefit from it. You automatically gain around a 5% speed increase. Probably too much. But still, you gain a benefit from the Way of the Spear automatically if you grab it. So that's cool. Done. Let's see if it applies the skills. Okay. Whew! It applies the skills. I don't have to restart my playthrough. Thank God. Cavalry with lances will be cool to see. Horse archers will be cool to see as well. Once they run out of arrows, most of them will spawn with a lance, so they're going to be fine with the lance as well. It's going to benefit if you're a polearm user, it's gonna, and you're on horseback, it's gonna buff up your horse archers as well, or your cavalry as well. So that's cool. Yana, hello, Yana. You're on a mount, so cavalry. Keep at bay. I don't think keep at bay will be useful to you. The second benefit, increased militia recruitment and government settlements, won't work on her unless she's a governor. Increases your chance to dismount an enemy cavalry on a successful hit. Nah, keep it at bay. Keep it at bay, we're going to go with that. A little bit of extra crowd control might be useful to her in case she gets knocked off a horse. Swift swing. Increases your swing speed with polearms by 5%. Clean thrust. Plus polearm skills. So, in theory... I wonder if the secondary effects work for companions, and if they stack. Can you imagine? I get clean thrust, she gets clean thrust. That means all of the soldiers receive a plus 60 to their polearm skill. That'd be fucking insane. Yeah, I know. That skewer would be a powerful skill. Clearly hard knock. Because that just increases combat movement speed. So, there we go. Sorry, Samikaz, what did you want to say? It would make sense? It would make sense to stack? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. If that shit stacks, it should become very OP. I think so, Punny. So probably just as a leader, he'll be able to do that. Hey, Yasid. Good, he can now deflect arrows, apparently. Castor Durold, there we go. Cavalry, keep at bay, clean thrust. Oh, really? But you wanted to go with footwork. That's dumb. Captain means whoever's in command, so you, or if you delegate. Okay. So most likely it only affects the leader of the formation. You're correct. It will not stack. That simply confirms that it will not stack. Yana's in the 4th. 4th division. Can I be part of a division? How can I tell which squad I'm part of? No. You're correct, Randolph. You are correct. Only the leader. It does state on the perk that only the leader can add that passive. It's shitty. I hope we're gonna be able to get the chance of allocating ourselves as the leader of a division. Okay, next up I want to quickly look at the armed trader. I really have no idea if these guys were better. It did drop, Randolph. I'm infantry by default, so it doesn't change based on does it change based on my loadout? That's dumb. Caravan. Let's see. Well, they're decent soldiers. They're decent mid-tier soldiers. Oh, never mind. Second, high tier. Tier 5. Okay, cool. They did say that they buffed up these units, so caravans will be more protected now. Apparently there were problems with caravans getting destroyed. Indeed, Randolph. That's what we literally just checked. Okay, let's see how they changed the UI. Hey, I can rename myself. Awesome. Can I rename? I can rename my wife. Interesting. Let's just leave it at Yana. I cannot rename Yasid or the other companions. And I have space for another dude. Okay. Alright. What else did they do here? Oh! You no longer have the option of changing their role on this screen. Let's go to parties. Ahaha! I see. Okay, that's cool. I'm a quartermaster. Yana's nothing. Custer's the surgeon. Yes, he's the scout. And the role's the engineer. Not bad. Luca is the everything. And it also shows you the composition of the party now. That's cool. I like that very much. I like that very, very much. The only problem is I cannot influence... It is very cool, yeah. The only problem is I cannot influence or level up, or maybe, let's see, can I level up the companions without having to talk to them? Can I add points to you, my lady? No, I still have to bring them in my party somehow, which is shitty. Thank God you're able to rename people now. I once pressed enter when naming my child, but I had not typed anything yet. Too bad, kid. I guess you'll not get a name. I feel ya, man. I feel ya. Okay, also that's going to be cool when, hopefully you're going to be able to see this screen when you invite dudes to your army as well. Now, there's another question that I have Can I delegate a companion, an extra companion, to go into the caravan? Can I do that? If I give a role none, she should be able to fulfill all of those roles. But the question is, can I, for example, tell Yana? No, I cannot tell Yana a thing. Or maybe I have the option by simply speaking to her from the party menu. We'll see. Fiefs. Alright. Clan does not own any fiefs. Good. Other. Aha! More information on the workshops, finally. Let's see. Tanner. Inputs leather. Outputs leather and light armor. Level 1. Okay, so there will be a way to level up workshops. That's going to be a thing in the game. Cool. Yes, please. Deepen the economic system. That would be amazing. So we are currently producing money. Okay. Also, this is just a fluff. This is just some fluff. But I would give each town... I would try to give each town something unique. I don't know, give Tial a statue of the god Tial, or something like that. Give it some lore. Make it more lore-friendly. Give it a unique avatar. Make Sibir and Tial look different. Now, I do understand that this is the default avatar for Botania. This is the default avatar for... Sorry. This is the default avatar for Sturgia. This is the default avatar for Botania. But just give it a unique avatar to each city. Give each city an identity. That would be awesome. You'd probably have to meet them on the map and transfer troops. Nope, that doesn't work, Randolph. That doesn't work. I tried to talk with them on the map to do something, but doesn't change anything. Can I talk with you? Let's see, what are my options, Yana? If I discuss with you, what do we do? Did it say they wanted to make cities more unique, but maybe at some point later that'll happen? Maybe have a city flag? At least a city flag. Hey girl, it's been a while. Hey boys. Thanks for the 50 bits, dude. Position, no. Quick question, nothing. So I don't have the option of sending Yana to further assist a caravan, but maybe I can send Yana or somebody to further assist with a party. We'll have to see. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the patch notes aspect of the video. From here on out, we're just going to continue with the playthrough, and I'm just going to be telling the dudes who are just watching for patch notes, thanks for watching, wish you a wonderful day. And hopefully we're simply going to get better quality, better stuff. And yes, I am completely aware this is the beta branch. Things are supposed to be broken, things are supposed to be unclear, but hopefully adding this feedback will help out. Okay? So, wish you guys a wonderful day.